Okay, so it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. We're on board the Hobie 16 Solo and we've got 49 seconds to go till the start of this showdown. Single-handed on the Hobie 16, 40 seconds to go there. So before we get going on the race course, as we said in the Total Joyrider hierarchy of needs, what is the most important thing when we go sailing? That's right, it is where are we going? So let's take a look at the course. So what we've got is, firstly, we've got the start line, which is also the finish line, and this is in the middle of the course. Then we've got, from the start line, we're going to sail to the windward mark. This is a large orange mark sponsored by Crusaver. And then from the windward mark, we're going to sail to the leeward or leeward mark, directly downwind from the windward mark. We're going to go around the leeward mark and then up through the finish line to finish. Key points here are we definitely want to be moving at speed in clean wind off the start line. When we're going around the marks, we want to be going in wide, coming out tight, and then we're wanting to sail the shortest distance in the strongest wind. On the race course here in Vasiliki Bay, in the morning, we know that the wind is best on the left, so we're going to start at the left or pin end of the start line, get over to that side of the course before everybody else. That's the intention. So let's get out there and get amongst it. We are a little bit slower than the other boats on the course, so we need to keep the nose clean as we can. And we are going to shoot the pin. So we've got 25 seconds to go. 20 seconds there. Just going to slow down a little bit. Checking the line, 15 seconds. Okay, so we got away cleanly at the pin. We've got the FX1 who's having a look at coming over the top of us. We've got some kayaks. We'll try to get around the back of the kayaks. These kayaks are always a hazard on a race course in an international regatta. We've got some good speed there. Got Gerhard, he's coming down on a tiger single-handed. He's going to be quick. Now, what we should have here is, as we get towards this headland, we should experience a bit of a wind bend, which will give us quite a significant header on this tack. And then when we get that header, we'll tack, and that will give us a nice lift up to the mark. Yeah, so we're coming down a bit now. Might move back a little bit for slightly more positive steering, and so I can hike a little bit. I didn't bring a trapeze harness today. Yeah, so here we go. So all the Tigers and the FX1 should significantly beat us to the mark. I'm going to keep going, because the further we keep going, the more of a header we'll get, which will give us more of a lift on the other side. There's Gerhard, single-handed on the Tiger. He's got a very good stance there. So we're taking off here a bit. So we'll just go on a little bit and then we'll tack. Yeah, we're looking pretty good for the ley line there. Gerhard's tacking, but we don't want to be tacking directly underneath the Tiger. So, oh, he stopped. All right, so we're going to tack there. Okay. Oh, Ben on the FX1, he's taking no prisoners today. That's what I heard. And yeah, I'll get under the tow strap a bit so I can sit out a little bit. Now we're going to be done by a bit of dirty wind off this Tiger here. So strategically, perhaps not such a great time to tack, because they tacked on top of us. And we're getting headed off here a bit, so I'm quite tempted to put in another 2 tacks, which may seem ludicrous. Might work, I don't know. We'll just keep going because we're not that far from the buoy now. Yeah, so we should have gone a lot further on the starboard tack, because as we're coming into the middle of the bay here, we're getting headed, taken away from the mark where we're going to, getting as close to the shroud there as possible for good trim. Trying to get the bow down, but I'm not really too keen on going forwards of the shroud. We're just going to do 1 lap today of this course. So there's the buoy, the big orange one there. So we're going to hit that just after we go beyond 90 degrees. So I'm just trying to keep the boat speed on, keeping my weight out. I'm not going to hike hard because it seems unnecessary. We're only lifting the hull slightly. In fact, I just noticed a tuning error. We've got our jib traveller out a bit there, so we can bring the jib in a bit more. That might give us a few more degrees on the old pointing. So we've got to be careful here not to tack in Gerhard's water on the Tiger. So we're just looking for the smallest knock there, and we'll go right. We're gonna, yeah, we have to wait for Gerhard to go really. He's having a look. Yeah, he's gone there, so we'll go there as well. Not a particularly nice tack. Okay, let's get the jib set. And then of course all these guys have got spinnakers as well. We haven't got one of those, so we'll just have to do what we can. There's Belt, he's coming. He'll probably tack on top of us. So there's Gerhard, he's already got the tack of his spinnaker out for a speedy hoist. So we'll have to, what we'll do is as we come around the mark, we're going to ease the sails off at the same time. So I'm going to let the jib off there a bit now, feed a bit of sheet through. Having a good look at the mark, traveller and main sheet going to go out simultaneously. Now there's a 16 coming upwind, so I'm not going to go too deep immediately, but I'm going to get a bit of depth on now by getting the sails really loose, and I'm going to get really far forwards, like really far forwards. The wind's pretty light, so I can go pretty far forwards here. Yeah, and when we get this far forwards we can go pretty deep in this sort of wind whilst maintaining fairly decent boat speed. We're looking for the other mark. Of course, the most important thing to consider is where are we going, and then next most important thing, where are we sitting on the boat, and then after that we'll look at the sails. And here we've just got the sails as loose as they'll possibly go. So what we're doing by getting this far forwards is we're bringing the mast really upright, which is presenting the maximum amount of sail to the wind, We're also pulling the back of the boat out of the water, which is reducing the drag. We've got less rudder in the water as well at the moment, which we wouldn't be getting in this wind. We wouldn't be getting much lift off the rudders, so we're just reducing the drag from the rudders. There's Simon. He's I think he's a bit early for the ley line personally. There's Ben. He's kind of jibing in front of us there, but we'll let that go. We're going to go on so we get a better line into the buoy. Gerhard's got really good pace there, and yeah, still I think we're going to carry on here a bit. We are going pretty deep, but we'll carry on here, because also as the wind comes around this headland, it's accelerating a bit as well, so we'll get slightly stronger wind as we come across here. We're still looking at the buoy. Yeah, cool. So just gonna get back on the boat, ready for the jibe here. So bringing it down, spending as little time at the back of the boat as possible. Get the jib sorted out as quickly as we can, so we can resume on our new course. Getting far forwards as quickly as we can. Get that jib traveller out, free that sheet off. And here we go. We're looking pretty good here again, so that's nice. Yeah, I think we could possibly have gone a little bit earlier, but not to worry. Got a load of sheet under the boat, so because we've got a bit of time when the wind's this light, we can tidy up a bit as we go. Just make sure we're not dragging anything that we don't want to be dragging. Okay, and also by going a bit wider than the other boats, we're not going to get tangled up in any argy-bargy, and we're not going to get any dirty wind there as well. So I'll get a bit further forwards here, a bit more efficiency. Also, we're just, even though there's, you could say there's no waves at all, this is just the smallest chop ever. We are kind of surfing these little bits of chop occasionally, picking up a bit of extra boat speed. Great racing here at Wildwind Sailing Holidays. Every single week there's great racing going on. So we're going to want to do a bit of preparation before we get to the mark. So things that we're going to need to consider, it's a good idea to think about this before we get there, than it all be a surprise, is we're going to get back into a normal sailing position on the boat. We'll bring the jib in, we'll let the jib traveller off, because that's going to tell us where we can steer to. So jib in a good position, we'll get the traveller in before we get there, and then we'll bring the main sheet in as we go around the buoy. In fact, we'll let the jib traveller off now, so that's done. Okay, I'm going to get into my action position now on the boat. Going to bring the main traveller in. Okay, we've got a bit of parking just after the buoy. In fact, he's going into attack, so we're going to have to go all the way around that tiger. So he's cost us a bit of space there. Okay, so yeah, usually we'd want to get a much tighter rounding than that. Okay, oh no, Ben's just tacked. Not so good for us there, because we're not going to tack straight underneath him. We could have got across the line. And okay, we're safe there, so we'll go for a tack. Okay, jib off when we're halfway. All right, round the back. Let's get that in. Push the jib round. You might have seen that in a top tips video. Works really well to get the jib battens across in the light winds. And we're back in our position. So of course when we're racing against different types of boat, it's what we call handicap racing, so the slower boats get a bit of a timed advantage, the faster boats get penalised for being faster. So in a race, the 16 has to be beaten by a Tiger. Let's just do this calculation in the head, by 9%, which means that's 9 minutes in a 100-minute race. So in a 50-minute race, that'd be 4.5 minutes, and we'll cut that in half again. Oh, so in a 5-minute race, that'd be 45 seconds. So this race has been about not much more than 10 minutes. Always wave to the committee when you finish. It shows that you appreciate their good work. And there we go, we finished. So they'd have to beat us by probably about 1.5 minutes. So I think on corrected time we might have just nudged in front of Gerhard there. Certainly nudged in front of Bent. Bent would have to beat us by, as a percentage, he'd be sailing off, yeah, 6% I think. So we might have just nudged ahead of Bent there on handicap. Okay, so thanks for watching. Yeah, so actually the camera says how long that was. That was 17 minutes, which means we certainly should have done that on handicap, which is nice. So there we go, that was just a quick look at sailing around a course in a mixed fleet environment. So we were sailing against FX1s, Hobie Tigers, which are both single-handed and fully crewed, and then some Hobie 16s with the full complement of 2 up on board. Yeah, so that was, I think that was a valuable experience.